The American Italian Cultural Center and Museum on South Peters in New Orleans offers event venue space, Italian language classes, dual citizenship and translation services, seminars, genealogy, and trips to Italy. Ciao, AmericanItalianCulturalCenter.com. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area.
I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, Poppy Tooker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. Hey, Miss Poppy.
Hello, Peg.
Hi. Chef Kevin Belton, who has numerous cooking series on WYES and on public TV nationally. Also numerous, I love the word numerous, cookbooks, and a weekly column these days in the Times-Picayune New Orleans Advocate. So good. Congratulations.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. And Doug MacCash via Zoom, vMix, whatever we want to call it, but we're just glad you're with us. And of course, Doug, as you well know, covers the arts and culture scenes for the Times-Picayune, the New Orleans Advocate. Thank you very much, Doug, for being with us, kiddo.
Yeah, I wish I could be down there.
Yeah, same here. We miss you. Alan is off tonight, and he returns next week. But first up, Poppy, starting out in the CBD.
Well, we're talking new restaurants tonight, and brand new is Lufu Nola. You may have grown to love them, as I did, when they were vendors at the Pythian Market, which of course has closed. Now they have their own brick and mortar spot, and it's in the CBD right there on the corner of St. Charles and Gravier. And in case you're wondering, LUFU, what's that? That stands for Let Us Feed You. And holy moly, will they feed you, because they have certainly fed me. Their interiors are like super hip. It's a great spot to sit in. You can also get to go from them pretty quick. And the dishes, so it's everything that you can think of that you're looking for in an Indian restaurant. Their colivada shrimp, there's a little cocktail, that mango lassi, with or without a little alcohol in it, is absolutely divine. But and it's the perfect thing to cool you down with this spicy food. Like there's the colivati shrimp, delicious. There's lots of chat varieties on the menu. There's tandoor, there's curries, there's vegetable options, and of course, there's naan and roti breads, one of which is better than the other.
My stomach just growled.
Yum! So they're open for lunch and dinner, and so they have a special lunch menu, and on the menu are things like nanwiches. Never heard of that before. They have tandoori salads. Nobody ever offered me one of those before. But they also have some of their bigger dishes at lunch, like the way they got my attention first over at the Pythian, goat biryani. Pretty much, I'm a goat girl. If you have goat on your menu, that's what I'm gonna eat. So they're open lunch and dinner, and they're closed Wednesdays. Now we're gonna go way uptown to the Pigeon and the Whale on Ferret Street, where Bar Francis used to be. And this, if you've been to Bar Francis, you walk inside, you're gonna know you are someplace else. It's a very sexy, kind of maritime interior. The outdoor tables are still there, but it's dark and clubby, like the interior of a boat, truly. And the chef, Jeremy Latimer, who we all came to love with his fabulous food at Station 6. Now there's no meat on this menu, but there is seafood like we don't get here. So you may be familiar with terra misalata, that Greek dip. This is totally different. They're mussels, they're char-broiled like oysters, but these are very different. It's really like a North Atlantic eatery with this inventive food. Nobody is serving anything quite like this in New Orleans. Their steamed clams with a curry sauce, and they've got a crunchy ramen-like noodle on top. They also have one of my favorites, something else I order all the time, squid ink pasta. And they serve theirs with a carbonara and sautéed shrimp. But let me tell you about this showstopper. This is swordfish schnitzel. I don't even know quite how they thought that one up. And I kind of fibbed. There is a little prosciutto in the schnitzel, but that's the only hint of meat you find on the menu, and it's served with a brown butter. It's beautiful. There are scallops with crab fat butter. There's a lobster roll, but holy moly, save room for dessert. So the owner is John Michael Rowland, who was the longtime general manager at Superior Seafood. His wife is the pastry chef, Winnie Rubin. Her desserts are show-stopping. How about that lemon-shaped lemon cheesecake? The perfect thing for after a seafood dinner. And you crack it open, look at the yumminess inside. I promise you, you will be titillated at the pigeon and the whale. They have all sorts of Negronis on the menu. They have a great cocktail selection, and really, it's the hot date night
Negroni's
dinner.
the magic word, I'm telling you.
It's one of them, but I'm telling you, hot date night, that's the place to go. And then I just wanted to alert everybody that it's time to start thinking about Top Taco. I love to think about October as we enter August. And if you've never been, it's such great fun. And if you have been, you might just want to get in on the early bird deal. Every time, the tickets just went on sale last week, and every time they sell 250 tickets, the price increases by $5. So get those bargain tickets now. And the event will be Thursday, October 26th. I can't wait.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Poppy. Kevin, you are here for many reasons, but let's kick off the first one, and that is you're going to do a special event here on August the 5th. You're tailgating. You're having a party. Tell us about that.
You know, it is so much fun. So many folks always ask, where can we come see you? And so this is something that folks can get together. It's football season. We have such great teams, you know, with Tulane doing so well last year, and the Saints doing well, and LSU doing well, and all of our schools doing so good, that tailgating. A lot of folks don't go out to tailgate, but we have friends over to watch the games at home. So what better to come to WYES, hang out with me, and learn a few new recipes.
And have a nice little lunch. Yeah, and so you're going to do a little cooking demo?
I'm going to do a cooking demo. I decided to do a dip. We're going to do a soup. And I'm going to do, I guess the best way to describe it, you're familiar with crawfish bread. Except I'm going to do like a sausage bread.
Ooh,
and this is something that you
great.
can bake in the oven, or if you're outside tailgating, you can put on the grill and do it on the grill.
All right.
But just a little something different, you know? And that's why I wanted to do it, because everyone doesn't get to go out in the parking lots.
Right.
I mean,
and we're going to be keeping cool. So we're going to be inside.
Exactly.
Everybody wants to go in the park.
Exactly.
Important.
Exactly.
Okay.
But we do entertain a lot at home.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of dip, I just wanted to say thank you because you are sharing a recipe with our Steppin Out viewers, which you are very kindly going to, I'm going to send it to you. It's the veggie dip with red bean hummus.
Yes.
Isn't that a great idea?
And
look,
I have
look
to,
at that picture.
I have to tell folks, if they get the recipe, the more tahini you add to it, the creamier your hummus gets.
Ooh.
And I just wanted something, I love hummus.
Me
So that's
too.
why I decided to try to do a red bean hummus. And then I took the vegetables, cut them real thin, and decided to just run them in the oven and
love
use
it.
those as a chip to dip.
So email me personally, P.
Yes.
Laborde at WYES.org, and I will send that courtesy of Kevin said, and that is from his Kevin Belton's New Orleans Kitchen Cookbook, which I know you can get here at WYES. And then moving on to, let's talk about, this is wonderful. You are now a columnist for the Times-Picayune, the New Orleans Advocate. Congratulations.
I can't believe that I got that call. You know, it's interesting. Growing up here as a kid in New Orleans, you know, you meet certain people and you hear about certain people. All of a sudden, when I got the call, it's like, you want me to write a column for the Times-Picayune? And you know, and it's just it's fun sharing. It's fun sharing the things that I can remember growing up with mother and grandmother at the table. So that's why. That's what I try to keep. I try to take a little bit of them and pass it on.
Yeah, and you most recently did one on chicken shawarma pita. Oh my gosh, we love chicken shawarma, if you can say that real fast.
I like to cook different things at home, you know, and this month coming up for a little tease is things that we can make, but we can get multiple meals from. You know, so we could take a chicken and roast it off. But from that chicken, we can do 3 or 4 dishes with that chicken.
Being very efficient, very smart.
Very
yes.
I'm clipping. I'm clipping your recipes.
No.
Just like an old-fashioned girl. I get so excited. I always want to send fan mail.
You know what I think about? I think about, remember in taking the bus with grandmother, going down to Canal Street, the recipes that used to be in
the Writer's Digest.
Yes.
On the bus. Bus. Well, and the other thing is, this is something else we definitely need to brag on you for. Okay, recently, poor baby, you were on a cruise in Alaska, but you had to do some work and explain what this was about.
Time Life is doing a New Orleans cruise for the first time. And they asked me if I would come on board to not just do the recipes, but make sure that Louisiana food is done right. They have some fantastic chefs on board that cook great, but they want that Louisiana flavor. So I had to work with the fleet executive chef who happened to be on the new Amsterdam in Alaska.
So this is the Holland America?
This is the Holland America line.
Wow.
Matter of fact, the little gentleman right in the front there, that's Pablo. He is the executive fleet chef for the entire fleet of Holland America. And we worked together in where we were going to insert different dishes during the New Orleans cruise. So we have dinners in the dining room, we have appetizers, dinners, desserts. We have on the Lido deck, buffet, we've got different things up there. Yes.
And this was one of the dishes from that cruise. Okay. So you're getting ready, you're prepping and getting used to the drill, if you will, as to what is required, which I'm sure is a lot.
We picked all the recipes, we inserted them where they were going to be inserted, and we came up with a grocery list. And our first day, we're marinating 1,000 pounds of chicken. Just to give folks an idea about how much food.
So the operative promo code here is Chef Kev. I love that.
Yes.
But that's going to be so much fun. And you said people are already starting to join.
I tell you, if you're a music fan and a food fan,
let's talk about that aspect of it
This is the cruise you
too.
want to be on. I mean, the Doopsy Brothers, Leo Nocentelli, Samantha Fish,
Did you say
Kat
Irma?
Benoit, Miss Irma's going to be on. Yes. So it goes from Fort Lauderdale to New Orleans for 24 hours here in the city, then to Cozumel, then back to Fort Lauderdale. It's in November.
It sounds
It's going to be a great time.
So much fun.
Yes.
Well, we're so glad you're with us today, too. Yay. So once again, August the 5th, that tailgating at WYES.
Please come see me.
WYES.org. You can get all the information about that. Thank you. And now over to Doug, paging Doug MacCash, with lots of things coming
Peggy.
up. Looking ahead for next week. Yes.
Hey, Kevin, welcome aboard. A lot of nice people over at the Times-Picayune. Glad you're one of us.
Thank you.
That's nice. And yeah, you're right. The big opening night of the art season is coming up. White Linen Night takes place on August 5th. So as soon as you're done with that tailgating business down at WYES, make your way to the Warehouse District for opening exhibits in 25 galleries and institutions. It's wonderful. It's a very see and be seen sort of an event. Everyone dresses in elegant white clothing and takes to the streets, gallery hopping. What's interesting to me is it may be the most chic of New Orleans block parties, the most elegant, and yet it's also one of the least expensive. There's almost everything is free. All of the exhibits are free, so you can buy a beverage or get something to eat at a food truck. But the activity doesn't cost you anything, and I think that's wonderful. Now you're thinking you'd have to be nuts to go to an outdoor cocktail party on August 5th in New Orleans. You're saying that to yourself, but luckily, there's no shortage of nutty people in New Orleans, apparently, because last year they estimate that 15,000 of us.
Oh my goodness! Don't scare anybody.
And they consider last year to still be the bounce back from COVID.
Yeah.
So they're expecting 20,000 this year.
Wow.
The footprint has expanded a little bit. It's usually on Julia Street, basically in the 300, 600 block. They're spreading uptown to St. Joseph Street in the 500 block. So it's going to be bigger than ever, too. It's the 29th year.
Well, I'm so glad you're going to give us your picks. Are you going to give us some picks?
Yeah, I'm going to give you some picks, things not to miss. At the Ogden, go see the Louisiana Contemporary Show. This is an annual event where they hire a curator to come in and try to find the best emerging talent and established talent in Louisiana. And it's always an eclectic show. It's always very uneven, but it's always interesting. This is where you're going to see the people who are the upcoming stars, and not just that, but you'll revisit some of the people who are already stars. Almost too much to talk about. Quilts, photography, sculpture, everything going on there.
I love this. The log cabin.
Yeah, isn't that great?
It's actually
Isn't that wonderful?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then make your way to Julia Street, and you're going to go to, here's the Ogden Museum. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Make your way to Julia Street, and you'll find the works of Doyle Gertie Jensen, who is a master illusionist. And if you look at this carefully, do the brush strokes begin to hover in your eye? I think they do. They do in mine.
Doug, he taught at UNO. He taught at UNO for a long time, didn't he? Yeah.
One of my professors, in fact.
Wow.
Yeah. But note that illusion, how he gets just the brush strokes to hover over the surface. It's wonderful. Elsewhere on Julia Street, you're going to find a show of botanicals, a group exhibit at the Grider Gallery. And it is also wonderful because it has so many different points of view. This is Azekla Zozols, who's the great classicist of New Orleans, painting these very moody, sort of realistic oil paintings. But you're also going to see Marc Bercier, who does whimsical cartoonish things, and Adam Farrington, who does sort of otherworldly sculptures. It's wonderful. It's going to be a great show. And a little off the beaten path, I ran into a brand new gallery, and this is about 6 blocks uptown. So it's a little bit of a hike. And it's called the Vernacular Studio and Gallery. And what that means is it's vernacular. It's about the all of those little things in the cityscape of New Orleans that make us smile. All the the hand-painted signs, all of those sorts of things. That's what this gallery specializes in. They're going to have a group. They're going to have a solo exhibit by someone named Rachel O'Brien, and her things look wonderful. Her shrine for Big Frida, which you just saw, is just terrific. And then make your way to Arthur Roger Gallery, one of the great anchors of Julia Street, never fails to put up a great show. And this is really interesting. Demond Melanson has learned to, make black masking Indian beadwork mosaics.
And he is a
he's
chief.
A master.
He's a chief too. Yeah, he's one of the younger chiefs.
And what he's done is he then uses that technique to make works of art, including this Junko partner, which is James Booker, and they're just wonderful. And I'm certainly going to be haunting that show to see everything. And then a Steppin Out alumnus, Bunny Matthews. They're going to have some of his cartoons by the late comic master.
Gee whiz, I love that. And you know, in terms of who's been on the street the longest, I guess would it be Arthur Roger and maybe George Schmidt, not too far behind, or maybe just the opposite, George first, huh? But I mean, they really have been stalwarts of Julia, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I wish I could check before I said anything aloud because I'm just
Probably
not sure.
George
But Arthur's
and
been
then
there
Arthur. Yeah, okay.
forever. Yeah. And White Linen Night, just so you know, white fashion is what most people will be wearing. It's not required. Believe me, you'll see everything.
Okay. Thank you so much. And we'll be back to you with the pick of the week in just a moment. Thank you.
All right.
A time for our other picks from Poppy.
Well, it's that time of year again. It starts August the 1st. It's culinary, the 1st through the 31st. And oh my goodness, all of the chefs in town have brought out their most creative taste buds. I'm getting the menus every day. I can't wait to share it with everybody next week.
Poppy, I went to the website. I was stunned how long it took me to go through the website. There are a lot of restaurants taking part.
I think there's so many restaurants taking part. I'm not sure the most devoted eater can eat their way through in a month. But I know we're going to give it a good try.
Thank you. I appreciate that effort, ever so, right? Kevin.
I'm staying on the same theme as being cool. I'm saying get WYES Passport.
Yes.
Because that way you can sit on the sofa, you can watch all the shows you want, you can watch all of my shows. You know, you talk about that plethora of cookbooks. Folks can go to WYES.org and get a cookbook that's signed and autographed.
There you go. And you know, the other thing about Passport, in case this is the first time maybe they're hearing about it though, it is the streaming device. It's one of the streaming channels, okay, that enables you to see a lot of local documentaries over the years, plus though your shows. You get to see your shows.
You get to see everything on Passport. Passport is fantastic if you don't have it.
I'm a big fan. And all the Ken Burns, I mean the list is long. Masterpiece Theater.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's very, very long. Watching Grantchester both live and on
And
Passport.
you're inside, in the cool.
And you're in the cool, exactly. And over to Doug. Doug, your pick.
Yeah, big show at NOMA. Sounds real popular. Fashioning America, Grit to Glamour. Fashion show, including a mid-1800s evening gown by New Orleans Madame Olympe, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, who may have had the first fashion brand name in the United States or in North America.
Yeah, you know, speaking of her, I have to tell you, because, you know, she's probably pretty obscure, but thanks to my pal John McGill, when we were working on a book on the history of Canal Street, she was one of the earliest Canal Street merchants.
Oh.
Wow.
So kind of cool.
No kidding.
You know, yeah. So to have that dress, I can't wait to see that in person. Thank you very much. Hey. And before my picks, next week WYES will present a special film honoring the life of Hotel Al Barras, a beloved French Quarter character who passed away in June. He spent 63 years at the Hotel Montleon as a bellhop, driver, assistant manager, greeter, and much more. A really fun guy. Here's a preview of the film Hotel Al.
He's the most magnificent, happy, fun-loving guy you ever want to know. He's my hero.
I'm Al Barrett, and I'm celebrating my 55th anniversary today. Hotel Montleon. During Katrina, we were feeding 1,400 people a day in the Montleon Hotel. I talk to people every walk of life, every minute, every hour I'm here. 55 years and loving it. It's all good.
All right, Hotel Al's birthday would have been August the 13th, and in his memory, WYES will air the film on Wednesday, August the 2nd at 10 p.m., followed by our WYES documentary, Bourbon Street, the Neon Strip. Hotel Al will also air again on Monday, August the 7th at 9:30 p.m., followed by our documentary, The Nightlife That Was, which includes an interview with Hotel Al. Now my picks. Tulane Summer Lyric Theater presents Oliver. That's through Sunday, and there's Jesse Terrebonne Thompson and Camille Berkey, who are in it, which is great, and a reminder that John Grimsley is playing Fagin. Go to liberalarts.tulane.edu for tickets. And on Thursday, August the 3rd, artist Catherine Clemitis and author Yvonne Crummins will talk about Breed All About Us, a book of pet portraits that Catherine did. These and other paintings are the basis of Clemida's show, which will be up at the Twin Steeples Creative Arts Center that's in Ponchatoula until August the 28th. She'll also have prints, books, and greeting cards available and all kinds of good things. And we're about to say goodbye, but I wanted to do a quick pop quiz here. All right, Kevin, how did you first start getting interested in cooking?
Mother and grandmother sitting at the kitchen table.
Really?
Yes.
Absolute. Poppy?
Oh my goodness, my mother wasn't a cook at all, so I had to feed us so we could live.
Okay.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Who's the mother of Camille Berkey?
Very good. Thank you. I wanted to say that. The ever lovely and talented herself, Leslie Castet. Yes.
Oh, they must be so proud.
I am sure they're so proud, so proud. And thank you all so much for being with us, and thank you for watching. Good night.
The American Italian Cultural Center and Museum on South Peters in New Orleans offers event venue space, Italian language classes, dual citizenship and translation services, seminars, genealogy, and trips to Italy. Ciao, AmericanItalianCulturalCenter.com. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area.